many entrepreneurs, you find that they want to send the emails when they are launching the thing. You forget people make the decision to buy before. They do not decide to buy then. They decide before that, you know what, if Adria is launching something, I can trust the product. So actually, the decision to buy is made way before.
Hey there, welcome to Entrepreneurs with Heart. I'm Adria.
And I'm Sydney, and we're here to help you build a rock-solid business so that you can kiss that 9-to-5 goodbye and turn your side hustle into your dream job.
So, if you're looking for down-to-earth advice from someone who's actually grown a business from scratch to 7 figures, you're in the right place.
We got the scoop on everything from growing your online presence, nailing email marketing, and even how to build your team without losing your mind.
Right? Plus, we'll dive into content marketing, website hacks, social media tricks, getting more traffic, staying productive, basically everything you need to know to grow your business without going back to school.
So, if you're ready to take the leap and make your side hustle your full-time gig, hit that follow button and let's get this journey started.
Hey, you guys, welcome to Entrepreneurs with Heart because
we have them.
And so do you. We're happy to have Lisa Njambi. Did I say your last name correctly?
Yes.
On
yes,
the show
well done.
today, Lisa. So happy to have you. Lisa joins us from the launch Maverick, and we're happy to hear everything that she does to help accelerate your business forward. What you got for us, Sydney?
I mean, I think we should just start out with what is your story behind how you started your business? And yeah.
I like that. Guys, believe it or not, I'm actually a trained biochemist. Yes, I'm a big nut. It doesn't look like it. I'm a big nut. I'm a big nut. So I've been all about sciences and kind of just figuring things out. And then after I was done with campus, I needed something to do as you're transitioning to kind of find, I don't know about the US, but where I'm from, sometimes there's kind of a gap here before you get somewhere to land your feet. So I started doing academic writing just because I'm very good at writing. I've always been very good at it. And just based on that, from academic writing, I realized, you know what? I prefer to sell, help people kind of communicate to the right audience, reach the right audience with the right words. So I got into copywriting, and in doing copywriting, I got into virtual assistants, and then that grew into launches, funnels, and kind of tech automation of ensuring that if you're running the business by yourself, that some of these things AI is helping you as much as possible, so that you show up in areas that need you directly.
So to back up a little bit, I met the lovely Lisa through Jalen and the Black Pretty and Paid team, and I got a chance to meet so many fantastic team members like Irene, who we had on the show, also, and Jalen herself, who we had on the show. Lisa and I connected because Lisa helps with, well, on my side, help with the email copy. And you know how it is when you start working with a new agency, you're not quite sure what to expect, and especially in an agency like the Black Pretty Paid agency where they offer so many different offerings. You know, you will like naturally expect some aspects to be better than others, right? Or to meet your needs better than others. So I didn't really know what to expect on the email side when working with Lisa, because I've had mixed results when working with other agencies, and these agencies are like their bread and butter is just email, you know. So I wasn't quite sure, and I say all that to say is that I was so pleasantly surprised. And I think one thing that really excites me about Lisa and her, and I want to talk a little bit about the Launch Maverick also, is that she actually cares about your business. So it's not just writing another email or putting together another flow. She actually wants to know what the company is about, what the purpose of the flows are. She goes on the back end without me nudging at all and looks at the analytics to see how things are working and how things can be tweaked. And so even before we get to the end of this thing where I tell people where they can find you and all that, you want Lisa on your team because she is the epitome of an external team member that feels like she's embedded within your team, because she'll give you so many tips and tricks along the way. Like, like, I know you wanted to do a segment, but you really should do another list in this case. I remember that piece of advice that she gave, because she's able to really dig down into not just what, and I love this because I don't know what I'm doing. And many of us business owners, we don't know, like we are great at our craft. Like, I know I'm rambling, but I have a point. I'm great at making hair products. I'm not great at email marketing, and I have in my head my limited knowledge and what I want to do. But and most experts will just do what you tell them to do, and then I'll be fine with that because I don't know any better. But someone like Lisa actually says in her sweet accent,
Yes.
with her beautiful hair. And she looks you in your eye and she says, "Dear Adria, I know you think you want this, but here's what you really want and why. And let's hop on a call and talk about it."
Aww.
Yes. And so you just get such a fantastic experience in working with Lisa. So I am excited to know that this is not how you intended for your career to grow or to go, and you just kind of fell into it. And I think that's just amazing. I would love to hear about the other members of your team. I'm assuming there are other members of the Launch Maverick too, and how you guys formed and what that group looks like.
So for in the on the Launch Maverick, it's actually me and my partner, Mike. His name is Mike. He does the captioning, the video editing, the captioning. It's actually just the two of us. So we collab with different, like now Irene, I know her very well, cause with her brand, the Divine OBM, say my client needs something that I cannot do, but Irene can do it. And we have that relationship where I can trust them to deliver like an excellent service. So I would just reach out to Irene, and then we have like form like a team based on what the client needs at that time.
Got you. So let's back up a little bit and
Yeah.
talk about how it is working with your partner. How is that?
Yes.
So how long have you and Mike been working together? What is that dynamic like? How do you put boundaries in place? It's natural to pull in your family members like we did, right? But we know that it's important to establish those boundaries so you can keep the relationship healthy. How do you guys do that?
Well, it helps that we've been together for a decade and we have two kids. So that helps. Yes. So, and the thing I like about Mike is often most of my clients don't need the subtitling and the captioning and the video editing. They really don't. Most people come when we are launching, we're doing funnels, they come, they have a team member handling that. So I don't necessarily need to work with him, but when it is needed, then we come together and deliver what the client needs, meet those needs. Does that make sense? Because he runs his own business, which is just subtitling, captioning, which is his focus, audio and video, which is his focus. So it helps. That means sometimes his client will be like, okay, edit this for me, what, and maybe they need to launch something or kind of segment something. They're like, oh, my partner actually does this the same to me. Someone might come to me, they're doing a program and they need help with that aspect. And I'm like, my partner actually does this. But it is not necessary. Necessary. Does that make sense? We don't have to continually work together.
Okay, so I wanted to like back up a little bit as far as like your personal story from going from biochemistry to being a writer, and how like, okay, you said you were always good at writing. So why wasn't that something that you went into in the first place? And how did you pick up biochemistry? Why did you pick it up? Did you feel like it was a more feasible, stable career and you felt like writing didn't have as many options until now here you are? Or
I like that question a lot, Sydney. Actually, I've always been, I remember when I was young, being like into poetry and doing those kinds of things. Like, but then I had stage fright. I would go, want to present the thing, and then I cannot present the thing. And then in the African context, writing a few years ago was not like a career point that you would decide, okay, let me do this. It was a hobby, if that makes sense. Then I've always been a big nerd, big nerd, very good in sciences. So it made sense to go into biochemistry. Actually, there's a post I did on my Facebook profile saying that what I studied in school, showing people the biochemical aspects, like the things that we study, because you have to understand the structures of the various biochemical properties. Yes. Looking at that and looking at how I create now, like tech, automate the tech, and it makes sense. It looks similar, if that makes sense. Because someone else might look at it and they're like, this makes no sense to me. How this flow is created, how this campaign is created, it doesn't make sense to me. But for me, as someone who has always been very good in chemistry, biology, and drawing those structures, it makes sense.
I love that you mentioned that because I feel like our paths that we take are not by accident, and a lot of the skills that we learn along the way are used in our maybe final purpose or real purpose. So it's really cool that you were able to be self-aware enough to be able to see how what you learned in biochemistry and the way that you had to organize things and flow with things, translate into email flowing and stuff. So that's really cool.
Yes, because we even had to, like, you have two biochemical products, like bringing them together. Let's say we have a sodium and a chloride, so you bring them together and then they form a sodium chloride. Then that is a structure. They have now come together. It makes sense because when we combine flows, or when you're building out flows, you have to see, kind of visualize. The audience is moving from this point. They might take this. They might move this way or this way. Does that, am I rambling? Does that make sense? They might move this way.
No, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, they might move this way. For someone else, say like your mom, Adria, looking at it, they might be like, this makes no sense to me. But for me, it does, because how they are coming into the flow and then splitting based on their needs, which is actually what we are talking about, getting segmented based on various properties that are kind of characterize a various group of within the audience. It makes so much sense to me that I can look at it and be like, oh, this person might do this, might move this way, might move this way. And then it makes so much sense to me.
She's so bright. And we've had Justice on the show as well. We've got all the great people on the show. And one thing I love about Justice is that he is so quick in the way that he thinks also. And so as you guys, I think know that Justice runs my email marketing. So it was a delight when I met you and was able to connect you and Justice, because there are very few people that can keep up with him. And you are right there with him lockstep, because you both are so smart in the way that you break down things quickly. I want to talk to you a little bit, because I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs are like myself, and we have an email list. Like, I even had 65,000 people on my email list.
That's a lot.
With 0 segments.
Wait, so help me understand.
Exactly.
What are segments?
And so talk to us about what a segment is and why you need them.
Yes. So I want you to think about like your brand EcoSlay. You will have an audience that loves what you're offering, yes? But you will find that this audience falls in different categories in terms of age, socioeconomic aspect as well, which is very, very important, especially for certain brands. When we do funnels, we do what we call different types of funnels. We have like a premium funnel. There's a member of your audience who cannot, that premium product that is being offered makes no sense to them. However, someone in the middle, kind of in a middle offering, it might make sense to them. Like, okay, I can invest in this. It makes sense to me. There's someone who is in the low end kind of offering, so they are interested. And for other people, they even have the money to invest in your funnel, but they do not know you yet. Like online, there's all sorts of people online. You're not sure if this particular person or in your case, Adria, if this particular product will meet the need that you have for you. So you're like, let me spend like under $10, under $50, what we call a low value offering. Let me spend something where some amount that doesn't feel like a loss to me so that I can test it. Let me test it, see if it works for me. Then based on how that, like in your case, based on how that product works on my hair, then I'm like, ooh, I can spend more money on this brand. They're actually delivering what they say they will deliver. For other businesses like coaches, you will find that I don't know you. There's so many people kind of asking you to trust them online that they will help you meet a certain need. And then they do not do that. Or maybe the way they can walk you through that journey just doesn't work with you. People have different character traits, different aspects, different needs. So you need to test. For many members of the audience, they will need to test. So someone might come to me like, well, my lowest offer is around 400. Someone will be like, I'm not sure that Lisa can deliver what I want. So let me spend this 400 and see if she's the right person. I'm sure, Adria, you've come across those situations where like, I'm not sure if this person will meet my needs. Let me just try and get something from them and see if the way we have that rhythm. Because that rhythm, especially in some marketing, is very, very important. So, which is why in this case, segments are so, so important. Now, for many people in email marketing, you will have a list. Think of a list like the biggest place where you have your audience. So based on that list, like you said your list is 65,000. Yes, that is everyone who has raised their hand and said, "Oh, I'm interested in your EcoSlip products." Now, in that list, people are differentiated based on their needs. You will find someone who is a very loyal customer, just buys from your brand only, and you want those people separated in a certain segment of like loyal repeat customers, like Adria has that, repeat customers, people who buy from your brand, people who are on a subscription, and those kinds of people, just based on how the relationship you have with them, that trust that you build, then you're able putting them on a segment, you're able to know of this 65,000, the people who will build that loyalty are maybe 1,000 people. And so you're able to give them certain benefits that come with them showing you that, I like your brand. You're the only brand that I'm using on my hair. So you're able to send them coupons that not everybody has access to, because you have gained a certain loyalty of that specific audience. In our case, in other brands, in marketing, what you find is someone has maybe 10,000 email subscribers, and maybe someone just got a freebie, something that's free, and they have never converted in any other way. So what happens is when you're launching something and you just send out an email blast to the full list, what happens is you get very low conversions, very, very low conversions. Many people of those people, it will go to spam because they don't interact with your brand, because Gmail is looking at how often does this person interact with this brand? Do they open these emails? However, if we have segmented that list and identified the people who might be the ideal audience for that thing that you're offering at that time, and we are going to look at properties that differentiate them, like a different client, a coach, based on kind of maybe the tech that the client is utilizing. They've lifted up their hands and said, maybe I use Klaviyo, maybe I use ConvertKit, based on the tech that they are using. Then you know when you have an offering that is based specific on ConvertKit, then you know of that list of 10,000, maybe 500 people are the ones that use ConvertKit. There's really no need for you to kind of send an email blast to everybody, and they are not your ideal clientele. You'd rather just send the email to those 500 people and you have a higher chance of having higher conversions because you already know, for example, these people use ConvertKit, so they might need what I'm offering.
That's a good place to pause. And so, Sydney, in our case, a few of the segments that Lisa set up for, and it wasn't really a segment, but they were, I guess, a segment of sorts, right? Like, for instance, on our hair types. So we were able to, based on the results of our hair quiz, know if someone is wavy, if they're curly, if they're coily, or if they're kinky. And so, like in our case, that's a really great way to segment because we know that coily hair uses different products than your wavy hair most times, right? So then you can send them an email that's targeted to them that will convert well versus maybe it's the jello shot for them, but for our wavies, maybe it's our new lemon drop foam or it's the orange marm, right? And she's exactly right. If you just send out one blanket email to your entire list, I mean, like it's just the same that goes in life. You're not gonna make everybody happy. Like I'm not for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And so finding your people and then talking to them the way that they like to be talked to.
A question that I have is like for you, Mom, you had the hair quiz
Yep.
as how you could, as one of the ways you could sort of split people up and
Yep.
know, have your different segments. But what are some other ways that a brand could maybe create their own segments? There's quizzes, but
Yeah.
and I know, Lisa, you mentioned like free something can sometimes be like, okay, this person's interested in this specific thing, right? But are there any other ways?
Yes, there are so many ways apart from quizzes. Like for your mom, the quiz worked so well because when you have natural hair, it can be so confusing on okay, what I don't even know. Like when you go to the site, you see for coily hair, for curly hair, and you're like, so what is my hair type? And you really don't have. It's a very good way of segmenting and at the same time kind of giving that audience more information because now they've moved along knowing, oh, I have wavy hair, so I should be targeting products for wavy hair. Other ways are freebies. Actually, freebies, a few years ago, about three or 4 years ago, freebies were doing so well as a way of segmenting your audience, like identifying. Like for example, if you have three offerings that you're giving your audience, and then creating a freebie on each offer, and then based on what the offer that the freebie that someone downloads, then you know, oh, this person is interested in this. However, they are not working anymore, unfortunately, so well. So now what we have is a low-end product. It's a very good way because what the problem with freebies became people like downloading a lot of the free stuff, but never really convert, which as a business owner, you want that conversion. So a low-end product became a very good way, like under 50 for some businesses, under $50 makes sense. Some people it's under 5, depending on what your audience, the socioeconomic status of your audience. What you want, what you get with that low-end product is already someone has lifted their hand. Oh, I'm interested in this. More importantly, they have told you, I am willing to spend money. I am willing to pay to get the help that I need, which means that that person can easily convert with something else. Say they get the thing for $50. They've already said, for example, I've lifted my hand. I use ConvertKit. So I've got maybe a template, an email, a newsletter template to use on ConvertKit. I have already shown you I'm willing to spend 50. Now, the next thing, because if you have a proper funnel, then you're taking people to various levels. So that person is likely to buy something else at around 200 level, which is like the middle ground, as long as it has met their needs.
That makes a lot of sense. And so it sounds like you would advise people to offer a low end product. That way, at least they get some sort of a sale. It's just not a waste of money just sending out free stuff. And then at the same time, you get like an inkling of what they like, so you know how to put them into a certain bucket.
Yes, yes. Now that the freebies really are not doing very well anymore, just because there are people going online and just downloading so much free stuff. And actually, it's also another very important thing. It's not even just about raising your hand and saying, I'm willing to spend money. Is when someone has spent the money, they will put in the work. They will put in the work. Some people will download the free thing but never put in the work. It's just on their Google Drive. They never put in effort. But I have spent $50 and maybe that is a lot for me, like a good investment in my brand. I'm going to put in the work needed to get the results that you're promising.
That makes sense. So in your case, what I was thinking is like your stickers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Sydney, what product do you sell to your audience?
So I sell a lot of stuff. I'm an artist, so I sell stickers, I sell of my art, I sell like art prints, and then like I also sell like glass mugs with my artwork on it. And then I also sell like higher end things like t-shirts, hoodies, and skateboard decks with my art on it. So yeah, just like a variety of things, but the constant thing is like my art is involved with these things.
I like that. So when you're now building a funnel in that, like what like in your business, you want a well-built funnel starts from a low-end product, then we have a middle ground product, and then we have a premium product. Because many people will want to start, test you out, even if budget is not an issue, they want to test you out maybe with the stickers. They want to get the stickers and see how is the quality? Is it good quality? And then they're like, oh, Sydney delivers. The quality is good. So they're like, okay, now I can now buy maybe a hoodie or something which is about like middle level in your funnel plane. And then from that, when they get the hoodie, they're like, oh, the hoodie is very good quality. I like the artwork. Yes. So they are like, quotes. The next time when you're selling something like for $1,000, someone will be like, I Sydney delivers. The quality is fantastic. The art is fantastic. I'm willing to spend the money.
Yeah, I
Yes.
actually noticed that that is what tends to happen. It happens with like maybe someone will purchase a print and then they'll commission me to do a custom piece for them after they see that they really like the print. You're
What are you
right.
thinking about it? Because I'm thinking it's been a while since we've done like watching this put into action, but I think this is an excellent time to watch you put some segments into action. What do
Well,
you think?
what I was thinking, I'm not sure if this, I think it kind of counts as a segment because I know that you mentioned this like a subscription thing is something I've been thinking about. But like
Yes,
nothing
actually, a subscription is another very good. It's a very good low product subscription. Like how much is your subscription?
like maybe I could do, well, I was thinking, so I had two ideas. So one idea, because I haven't started one, but I was thinking maybe like a sticker subscription. So like every month you can get like you maybe pay like $4, $5, and you get a new sticker to you every single month. Or like a sticker sheet subscription if I want like a higher, like not higher end, but like a sticker sheet, maybe it's like a $9, $10 subscription, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
you get like
4 or 5 stickers.
4 or 5 stickers on a sheet each
Yes,
month, like something like that. I was
yes.
thinking.
Yes, actually, I was going to mention that subscription boxes and various subscriptions are also doing very well, like a low end way of lifting your hand up and saying, "Oh, I'm willing." So subscription boxes are doing very, very well. And the good thing about them is they can be in different levels. Like something under $10, that would be considered low end, low value that some people are preferring, depending, again, you need to understand your audience. Depending on your audience, the audience that you have in place, for some people, it would make sense to have a low end subscription as their means of segmenting the audience. For some people, it would make more sense at the middle level where someone is spending around 400, it would make more sense. Again, you want to consider your product, like various businesses. Like in my business, I have various offers, but my main offer is the launch offer, which is around 10K. So it would make sense for me to have a subscription at around 400 because that someone who is willing to spend that amount is easier to convert into that premium product. Yes. For some people, it differentiates. Like for Adria, for you, it would make sense for the subscription to be like a lower level at around under $15, it would make sense because most of your items tend to be at around 50 to 100, depending on the combinations that they need to bring together.
Good stuff. Yeah.
So good stuff. Go ahead.
It's interesting because I feel like I don't know if other small business owners relate to this, but email marketing, like I underestimate the power of having people's information and knowing
I like the way you said it. I like it.
No, but for real, because it's like, not only do you have their email, but you know what they purchased,
Right.
like what they're interested in. And it's just crazy because it's not just like sending one email will make you a whole bunch of money, but it's analyzing those things and knowing the type of people that are subscribing and what they want. And it's cool because it can help you like develop new products and also cater what you have to them. Like, hey, if you like this, maybe this is something you're interested in. So that's really cool.
Yeah, this is great because if we are confused about this and don't understand the power, I'm sure our listeners and viewers are as well. So I appreciate these little tidbits on how to just dip your toes into the segmentation waters by launching or highlighting your low-end products and your subscriptions. I think that's genius.
I want to start off doing a subscription, I think, with this information.
Also, I want to on top of that, I want to maybe actually send out more emails.
That's what I was thinking.
And I'll send out an email if I launch something, but it would be cool to maybe be like, hey, did you know that this product exists in my shop?
Right. Or how are you enjoying something that you purchased?
Yeah. So just being a little bit more personal.
Because I feel like many entrepreneurs, even people that come to me, clients, you find that they want to send the emails when they are launching the thing. You forget people make the decision to buy before. They do not decide to buy then. They decide before that, you know what, if Adria is launching something, I can trust the product. I can trust it. So actually the decision to buy is made way before.
It's something that we don't usually think about.
Yeah, about what the customer goes through and what it and also like you mentioned, the amount of trust it takes to invest in somebody's product business.
Yeah, and we tend to think, okay, well, I sent them the email, this thing's available, why aren't they buying?
Yeah, and it's just like, well, maybe you didn't build.
They might not even be seeing the email because as Gmail, many of us are using Gmail. How it works is Gmail, the AI identifies whose emails you open. So a lot of the people that you think you're sending emails to, they are not even seeing them. They've gone to either the spam folder or they've gone to what is the other folder? They have not gone to the main folder. So they really don't get to see it. Or when they do see it, they do not see it on time.
So I want to talk a little bit more about that too. It's been bugging me because some of our emails are going to spam. Is there anything that we can do about that?
Yes. One of the things that you can do is encourage people to take action, some sort of action. Like you will notice some of the emails that I did for you, I'm encouraging them, you know what? You can ask us questions. What you do not know, for some people, that seems like annoying. I'm going to have so many questions. I have to talk back to it. But you do not know that person's Gmail is going to read the AI, is going to read that, whoa, they actually communicate. They have a relationship. That if Adria sends an email, it needs to be at the very top of their inbox because they have some sort of relationship, because there's that back and forth.
So when you say encourage action, do you mean like in the subject line that I'm encouraging action?
Yes, it can be in the subject. It can be in the subject line. Like ask them to do something, or it can even be within the email content itself. Ask them to respond. What did you think? We noticed that you bought this product. What did you think? send us like a review, send us a review. Would love to hear any feedback that you have for us. Them actually sending a response is very, very good. Or other times you can ask them to take like a quiz, or answer some form of like a Google form, fill it out. That information helps as much as possible. You want them to interact with the content you're sending them.
So are you saying that and I make sure I'm understanding this correctly, are you saying that because it's the AI that is sending me the spam, so are you saying that when the AI sees that I'm prompting them to take action, that is less likely to send my email to spam? Is that what you're saying?
No. It will not send your email to spam because, for example, if you send me the email and I have responded, I have sent you a response back.
Yeah, got it.
Yes,
Got it.
I have taken action. So Gmail AI will be like, oh, actually, Lisa talks to the EcoSleep brand. They have a relationship. So I want this one to be on top of her inbox.
But what can I do if my emails are already going to spam? Is there anything that I can do to help to encourage them to get out of spam?
Yes. One of the reasons why they are going to spam, there's really not much you can do, to be honest, but I will tell you one of the reasons they are going to spam is because you're probably sharing content that doesn't appeal to most of your audience. So it makes no sense to them. So when it comes, they just delete or move it to spam. So again, segmentation works so well because of your 10,000 audience list. You know, or 500 are more interested in maybe conditioners, 500 are more interested, like in your case, Sydney. So when you send them content that appeals to them, then they are more likely to take that action. Does that make sense?
It does. And so it sounds like there's not much I can do about the emails that are already going to spam. So womp womp. But moving forward, making sure that the content I see is personalized to them, meets their needs, and then so they're more likely to open and to respond, which will keep them from going to spam in the future.
Exactly. Which is why segmentation is so important. Because if you're still sending like content to the whole list, and what we've identified is in the list, people have different needs and wants, because wants matter as well. Your audience have different needs and wants. So if you can find a way to group them based on those needs and wants, and then send content driven by those needs and wants, you can see how that will make things much easier for all of you.
Right, that just solves all the problems. I had to ask about spam because it's so annoying to see that your emails are going to spam.
I know.
Yes, it breaks your heart.
Oh, how do you see that?
Well,
Not saying I want to see it. I don't want to see it.
At the deliverability and information inside of Klaviyo to see where your emails hit.
But like I use MailChimp.
Oh, you should not be using MailChimp, Sydney.
Oh, really? Why not?
Don't. Is there a specific reason you're using it?
Because it's free.
Yeah, it's free, and Mom used to work for MailChimp, so I trusted it.
Don't blame me. Why?
MailChimp lost the trust because many people, just because it's free, many people use it badly. So the chances of your emails going to spam when using MailChimp is high. You want to use, because many people are misusing it so much. You want to move to MailerLite, that is doing at least better. And when it is well set up and segmented, you really can get very good results from the platform. If it being free is it's a major consideration.
Wow, that right there is worth the price of admission.
Do you use MailChimp?
I use Klaviyo.
So Klaviyo, but that's not free, right?
No.
It's not free. It's actually very robust, Klaviyo. Actually, the more robust the system, the more like Klaviyo, the price point is high. When it comes to segmenting, like giving the client more than one way to segment, one of the best platforms was ActiveCampaign, but it has now become too expensive. I mean, it doesn't make sense for many businesses, because in ActiveCampaign, I will have a list, then I am going to have a segment. Then I'm going to have a tag. I'm even forgetting. There was 5 ways of segmenting on Active Campaign, which made it, especially if you have a larger list, because when you have a big list, the chances of you ending up in spam is very high. So you want to segment as much as possible so that you decrease those rates of going to spam as much as possible.
So, as someone who has a very small email subscriber right now, we're manifesting it, getting bigger.
Yes.
What is your advice for moving forward to keep it? Because like right now, my open rate is pretty decent. But like, but that's also because I'm small. So, what is some advice to keep it that way, would you say?
So you want to say, actually, part of the reason I wanted to do this podcast is many people want do the segmentation once. They just do once and then forget. They forget that the needs of the audience are always changing. So you want the segmentation to be continuous, because you will find someone might have started as a low-end client. It doesn't mean that they cannot afford like a higher end item. It's easier to start there because I don't know you yet. I don't know what you can deliver. Now, the problem with many people, when you segment like that, you keep that person there in that segment. What you do not know is that they've got to know you better, they've got to know your brand better, and they're probably willing to spend a bit more. But when the segmentation is continuous, then you're able to have some sort of automation that based on an understanding of your audience. Now, someone like me will understand like the steps that the audience needs to make, so that it tells me, oh, this someone is now ready to kind of buy something else, move maybe to the middle level and buy. Now, based on that, I can be able to set some automations on the back end. And when they do this and this and this, give them this tag, which tells me that, oh, they might be open now to buy something more, to spend a bit more. And then after some time, that same person might be ready to now buy premium. But you need to have the information of how their needs are changing.
One thing I want you to share before we wrap up is you were talking about, I think I cut you off, so I'm sorry. I'm just so excited because it's so good. Those 5 ways or 5 things to segment on. So you mentioned tags.
Yes. So depending on the platform, different platforms have different ways to segment. Many platforms will have a list and then they will have a tag. I don't think there's any email marketing platform that doesn't allow you to tag. And then they'll probably have a segment. Many platforms will have 3 ways of doing it, or at least 2: list and a tag. Other, depending on the platform, it will have a list, a tag, a segment. Now, a platform like Active Campaign, which is what I was talking about, provides about 5 ways to segment, which allows you to even do more, if that makes sense, because someone can have this tag, but and then you have to decide what I like to call it segmentation strategy, because it you can be excited and use all of them, and then it becomes very confusing on the back end. You need to decide, like I like to use the list as the first place where I put everyone. You have decided you want to receive emails from me or my client, so you're in my list. Next, based on what I'm offering, you're going to be in my segment. After lists, the next level is segment. Segment is, I've identified maybe a major factor to consider for my client is tech knowledge. How good are they with tech? Are they newbies? Do they have some information? Are they very good at tech? So now I can have those 3 segments: newbies, people who are somewhat good, and then people who are experts. Because how you're dealing with all these people, how you're selling to them, how you're meeting their needs is different. For example, if someone is a newbie, I cannot just go drop the thing. This is what I want to provide some background. This is why we want to do this. Like in your case, Adria, you are not a newbie. You have some information. You understand Clevio. So me telling you, actually what you want is a list. Here, you want a list because of this and this and this. It gives you more information. And now you understand why we are taking that particular action. For someone else, a client might be an expert in that platform. So actually, you telling them, least you don't need to offer that background information because they get it. Does that make sense? Yes. So you find that from the list, the next point you want to have them in is the segment. And then the segment now very specifically, we want to get very specific on what they need. So then you have the tags.
This has been so great. And Lisa, I do what I want, Sydney. We can talk about it offline. But I need to take a look at my own email strategy after this call. I think you need to start yours and with your subscriptions. So I would love for us, I got a page full of action items. I want us to put some of these into action. And then I would love for us to have you back on and let's share how things are going. Would you love that? I would love that so much, Lisa. This has been so great. Where can people go to find you?
You can find me on thelaunchmaverick.com. That's my website. And I also have a Facebook page called by the same name, The Launch Maverick. Actually, I think we would have to do this again because we ended up not focusing on why we need continuous segmentation.
Yes, and I want to talk more about that. And I have a whole list of things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the continuous segmentation and then how to do that. And especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a solo entrepreneur or a solopreneur, like how do you keep up with all of those things? So definitely I want to put these things into action that we've talked about today and then have you on for a part 2 so we can just continue to level up our email marketing and our segmentation game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Lisa. It was amazing.
Yeah, this was so nice. Sydney, I'm so excited to hear how your subscription is going to go. They're actually doing very well, subscriptions now. They're doing very, very well.
I'm really excited. I'm grateful and honored that we got to have you here because I don't know what I expected when I sat down, but I feel like I learned so much and I'm excited to see where this all goes with the email and the subscriptions and just taking it a little bit more seriously.
When you understand the value of email marketing and not looking at it like it's just one of those things you need to do and actually have a strategy and have that zeal of doing it continuously, the kind of results you get from it. Because another thing I do is you want to look at the analytics and understand them. You really will see how much of the sales that email marketing will drive. And for people like us who are also passion driven, you really can you imagine being very good at something? Like your mom has a very good brand, EcoSlip brand, and not reaching the people who need that product. What would be the point? Yeah, you have to reach that audience and be like, actually, I'm the brand that you've been looking for. I want to partner with you in making your hair great. This matters to me. It's not just about the sale, actually making a difference in how you're taking care of, like with Silversley, in ensuring that you at a certain age are still feeling very good in how your lifestyle, in how your hair looks. It's very, very important. So I feel like we do need to take it very seriously.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed listening to this conversation as much as we enjoyed having it. Until next time, we're entrepreneurs with heart because
we have them.
And so do you. See you all next time.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to Entrepreneurs with Heart. If you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment below and tell us what your takeaway was. Or if you're listening, take a screenshot and share it on social media with your takeaway. If you would like to leave us a review, head over to your favorite podcast app and give us a 5-star rating. This will help us reach more small business owners just like you, and your feedback helps others find our show.